high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
The Pierre Regional Airport, Owyhee Federal Credit Union, Ramkota Hotel, Zander Auto Parts, Ferding Electric, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Bauman Lumber, Wagner Auto, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union of Pierre. Coverage of high school sports on River 92.7 is brought to you by these special in-game sponsors: Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gale's Gas Service in Pierre.
Pierre Governors softball is on the air. Welcome to another edition from Riggs Field as we're in the backyard outside of Riggs High School. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play coming up. We'll be joined by Chris Hall once again. The Pierre Governors haven't been home in a couple couple of weeks. Oddly enough, the last time we were here at Riggs Field with the Governors, the winds were about the same, probably 20 miles an hour, but it's about 40 degrees warmer here today. Game time temperature going to be just above 90 degrees as the Pierre Governors host the Brandon Valley Lynx. The Governors have been playing well, but they just can't get the W's in the left-hand column of late. They had 4 good games in Sioux Falls over the weekend that we'll talk about, most notably their last game, a 1-0 loss against highly touted Sioux Falls, Washington squad. But the Governors will come in 3-13 on the season. They'll take on a Brandon Valley team that's 5th in the power rankings with a 9-3 mark. They also lost to Washington in their last game. The Governors played on Saturday against the Warriors. Last night was Brandon Valley's effort against Washington, a 5-1 defeat. So both teams coming in here, and despite the records, Chris Hall, who joins me here today, despite these records, the Governors competing with everybody they're playing, and you just never know. I think the big key is going to be just put some runs together, get the hits strung together, score some runs, and maybe a pull an upset today.
Yeah, I mean, first game we had we've been talking about, right? You got to learn how to win and clutch situational hitting. The one thing I will tell you is that talking to some of the other teams, the girls that we know that, of course, you've seen them grow up and play, and some of the coaches and stuff, there's no team that really wants to play Pierre. You know, they know that, geez, we played Washington 1-0. We played Brookings a couple of weeks ago.
5-4, yeah.
Girl from SDSU, going to SDSU, our girls put up a big number against Brookings. I think it was 13-12 or 15-14.
Much higher scoring. 15-14.
Yeah,
that's
I think
not 5-4.
15-14, and they scored in the bottom of the 7th inning to go ahead and win. These girls, but it's the keys that we've talked about. You start fast. If the Pierre girls are engaged and they start fast, especially on defense, these teams are in for a tough test. It's not a rollover game for sure, and you see it in the girls' confidence, and you see it in the dugout, and you hear them chatting and engaged. When they start fast, they're a good team, but it's situational hitting, and it's being engaged right away at the beginning of the game.
We'll talk more about that in a bit. Keys to success a little bit later on. Let's open with a 3-minute break as we welcome William Wilson. Thank him for running the show in studio. River 92.7, your official voice of the Governors, as we bring you Pierre Governor softball, and we are live streaming with the help of Brian Minning and Live Ticket. You can watch this game coming up, the varsity contest, on River 92.7's page of drgnews.com and your DRG News smartphone app. I'm Brian Oakland. We're back in 3 minutes with our Bank West pregame show, Governor softball, on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the
Our
early
thoughts
days,
get too much to bear. Finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
that moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pite's Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pite's Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Recently as last night when Sioux Falls, Washington beat Brandon Valley 5-1. Washington, of course, over the weekend defeated the Governors 1-0. Pierre lost to Sioux Falls Lincoln. Washington, also Roosevelt and Jefferson, all with games very similar scores. The Governors just with no more than 1 run scored, but they didn't give up any more than 6 or 7 runs in any of those games either. But Pierre is 3-13 on the season. They're still sitting 15th in the power rankings, looking up at Harrisburg, number 1 at 12-2, Sioux Falls Lincoln 14-2, Washington, who both of these teams have gotten very acquainted with lately, 12-2. They're the 3rd seed. Stevens, who was last here, the last home game the Governors played on April 26th, they're still unbeaten. They're 9-0, and they're in the 4th spot, followed by these Brandon Valley Lynx, that we'll see today, 9-3. Jefferson looking good with a 13-3 mark, sitting at number 6, followed by Brookings and O'Gorman in the top 8. T-Area, Sturgis, Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, Mitchell, Yankton, Watertown are through 14 with Pierre and Spearfish 15 and 16. Aberdeen Central would be the 17 seed, the 1 team looking on the outside, looking into what would be the Sodac 16 if the postseason were to begin today. Taking a look at the Govs or the Brandon Valley schedule, in addition to that 5-1 loss last night, which was at home. That was a rescheduled game from April 3rd with that matchup with Sioux Falls, Washington. Before that, Brandon Valley did put 6 wins together, including impressive wins like 10-0 over O'Gorman, 16-3 over Mitchell, also a 6-1 win of late over O'Gorman. And Brandon Valley's a team, Chris Hall, that can put some runs on the board. I mean, talking to their coach, Kara McDougall, and as the winds pick up, and you can hear it in the mics, but, you know, this is a team that obviously you got to pitch well, you got to defend well to keep good hitting teams off the board, and that's going to be the test for the Governors today.
It's coming out quick with the defense and the pitching. Oh, I mean, it really is. Our girls, when they're engaged, and that you get to that second inning and it's 0-0, and you're seeing these favorite teams coming in thinking that they're going to get an easy game, kind of start to squeeze that bat a little harder. You see our girls really bearing down. Man, I've seen it 5 or 6 times. And the other thing that I really like about the Pierre girls, this team, we get down 3-0, we get down 4-0 in those first couple innings. It's just scratch and claw. They're not dying. They're not carrying their heads low. They're getting those runs late in the game and making these close games. I mean, we were down 7-0, I think, against Lincoln, and the girl was throwing a no-hitter, and the dugout was loud. And by God, you know, a bean batter and a triple to the gap, and it's 7-2, and it's, you know, the moral victories are probably over, but these girls are engaged and they're fighting, and we just need one of those games to kind of go the right way, and the end of the year could be pretty interesting.
You know, and the bottom line, I think, too, defensively for Pierre, and Brandon Valley's capable of putting crooked numbers up, but Pierre has to minimize those, and you did that again. They did against Washington. They did that for most of the weekend, but still, 6 and 7 runs that are being scored. You just have to try to keep those runs given up to a minimum.
Can't give them any free outs. Just can't.
Yeah, so Brandon Valley, again, one of those teams that's capable of it. Pierre does come in, however, on a 2-4-6 8-game losing streak, but outside of a 10-0 loss to Watertown in that stretch, a lot of these games, including that first one of those, like we mentioned, 14-13 was that score against Brookings. Sure, you'd like to have some of those games back, but maybe you'll get them back once you play better down the stretch and get to that postseason in the Sodak 16.
Yep, and talking to a lot of these girls, it's just we know we got to tighten it up, right? We got to tighten up the defense, and hopefully we get those games where the sticks are alive. We've seen it a couple times here at home. We've seen it against Brookings on the road. A couple of these other games, I think it was West Central, hit the ball really well, but dig yourself an early hole. And what they're looking for is they know they have to tighten up the defense. We got to start finding some holes and maybe even get a little luck, right?
Yeah. Probably a Dakota Valley game you're thinking of there,
Valley,
too. So, all right, some of that we're talking about keys to success. Keys to success in our Governor broadcast on River 92.7 are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Which reminds me, I have an appointment with them, and Thursday morning we will hear from Central Dakota Eye Care, and we'll be back after this 3-minute timeout. The lineup cards are next. It'll be the starting lineups as the Governors take on Brandon Valley today, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Your hometown shop specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Scott Darnell with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email Scott at LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Non-stop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book non-stop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal.
Back at Riggs Field as the wind whips through the microphones again. There's it's kind of a catch-22 here at Riggs where either you're sitting in the wind of the south-southeast wind coming at you, or you go to the other side and you'll be in the sun. We're a little more shaded, at least here in this particular spot on a 90-some-odd degree day here in the middle of May. As it is time in our BankWest pregame show to give you the starting lineups. The starters are brought to you by EnviroTech in Pierre. Let's meet the Brandon Valley Lynx, coming in with a record of 9-3, the 5th power-rated team in South Dakota Class AA. Leading off will be the center fielder, the junior Alexa Harms, followed by the shortstop, also a junior, Peyton Amdahl, batting second. The third hitter is Danielle Scobie. She's the catcher and a senior. She's listed as DT Scobie in the lineup cards. We may call her DT at times throughout the day as well. Cleanup hitter is the pitcher, and the senior Gabrielle Creech for Brandon Valley. Kennedy Fitz will bat fifth, the junior playing left field, followed by Aniston Murray, a sophomore. She's in the DP spot, the designated player for the Lynx today. Macy Lemke is a senior playing at first base and batting seventh. Sierra Feek, a senior, bats eighth and plays right field. And Briley Labor, a freshman second baseman, rounding out the lineup in the batting order and batting ninth. But Denaya Daniel will play as a flex player at third base, and she is a sophomore, not batting necessarily, at least not in the starting lineup, but Daniel will play defense for the Lynx. So the batting lineup has Alexa Harms, Peyton Amdahl, Danielle Scobie, Gabrielle Creech, Kennedy Fitz, Aniston Murray, and Macy Lemke, Sierra Feek, and Briley Labor. The pitcher is Gabrielle Creech, one of two standout senior pitchers that Brandon Valley has. She'll take on the Governors today. We'll meet the Governors when we come back. Let's first hear from EnviroTech, the sponsor of today's lineup cards. This is Pierre Governors Softball.
EnviroTech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, EnviroTech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call EnviroTech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. EnviroTech has you covered.
The EnviroTech starting lineup for the home team, the Pierre Governors, begin in a familiar lineup, and with only 11 on the roster, the Governors don't really have to deviate from the lineup. Consistency has been key. Noelle Kist will lead off, and she'll do the pitching today for the Governors, followed by Olivia Hymans, the second baseman. Kist, by the way, the senior. Hymans, a sophomore for the Governors. Mackenzie Flottmeyer will play out in right field. She's the junior and batting third. A trio of seniors next up through the middle of the order. Ireland Templeton, the third baseman, batting cleanup. Amber Roman, the senior first baseman, batting fifth. And Ellie Browers, the catcher, will bat sixth. Allie Keys gets the start in left field, the sophomore for the Governors. Gretchen Youngworth will be the designated player. She'll bat eighth. And the senior for the Govs and Charlie Hall will play short and bat ninth. Hall, the junior shortstop for Pierre. Analia Erickson will be the flex player, and she will play in center field, but not start in the lineup, at least not right away. Once again, it's Kist, Hymans, Flottmeyer, Templeton, Roman, and Browers, Keys, Youngworth, and Hall, the starting nine for the Governors, while Noelle Kist takes to the mound. Once again, she pitched an outstanding game her last time here, even though the Governors lost 6-1 to Rapid City Stevens. That was the game where Kist threw her and registered her 100th career strikeout. The Governors are coached by Elizabeth Keys, assisted by Jordan Eichmeyer, Kenzie Gronlund, Hannah Lemieux, and Sam Kennedy. The Brandon Valley Lynx, their opponents, are coached by Kara McDougall, assisted by Morgan Mashlin, Emma Trevere, and Jennifer Shunke. Your starting lineups brought to you by EnviroTech in Pierre. Another starting lineup to give to you is the naming of today's game officials. Our game officials are the law on the field, and we'll hear from them. They're sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. We'll hear from them, and we'll give you the guys in blue when we come back with more Governor Softball.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, You, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division giving us the law on the field. And today, behind home plate, calling the balls and strikes will be Dale Farman. And Justin Peterson will get the task of manning the bases and making all the right calls. There's Dale Farman and Justin Peterson, today's game officials, and our law on the field. As always, we thank our game officials for doing what is very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating high school sports. Our game officials, Dale Farman, Justin Peterson, thanks, guys, for being the law on the field today. As the PA announcements have begun here at Riggs Field, we'll come up and get the starting lineups, and they'll do that first. We've given you those. We'll take a look at the schedule of games that are going on today. But after this 2-minute timeout, you're listening to Pierre Governors Softball. River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This
Welcome
is
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit.
Dedication and hard work lead to success. Looking for a vehicle that's built to perform? Come to Beck Motor Company, your local Chevy dealer. From the rugged Silverado to the family-friendly Traverse, we've got the Chevy for every drive. Support the Lady Govs, support local, and drive home a new Chevy today. At Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. 605-224-5912. beck-motors.com.
Back at Riggs Field as the starting lineups continue on the field. We'll be breaking again here very shortly, but let's take a quick look at the schedule of games that are going on. If I can click in the right spots here. But the schedule of games happening here today, getting down to kind of crunch time. And we talked with Coach McDougall of Brandon Valley about how teams need to be getting a little bit better as the season comes to an end. The Sodak 16 isn't too far away. Neither is, obviously, a would-be state tournament. This game is one of 5 going on. Pierre against Brandon Valley. Stevens is at Spearfish. Harrisburg playing at Mitchell. Brookings at Sioux Falls, Washington. And Yankton is hosting Class A Beersford today. That's the schedule of games in Class AA. 90 seconds, and we're 2 minutes rather, and we're playing ball. When we come back, you're listening to Governors Softball.
Dakota Storm. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business.
It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit
in the backyard of Riggs High School. Comtech will sponsor the first pitch coming up. Noel Kist will deliver, but the Governors are just taking the field for their pre-first inning warm-ups. Brian Oakland along with Chris Hall here on the mics. Obviously, the wind will be on the mics as well today. Brian Menning for Live Ticket is videoing this one, if that's a word, for Live Ticket. You can watch this one, River 92.7 and the River 92.7 page of drgnews.com and your DRG News smartphone app with William Wilson in studio. Governors softball coming up. Whoops, that was a miss.
Oak, I graduated with an English degree from the University of South Dakota.
Yes.
Videoing is indeed a word.
It is a word.
Yes.
Thank you.
I got you.
Well, you don't need, I guess, a degree of any kind to know it's time for the Governors to really start playing better. And they're a confident bunch, but they can sure build a lot of confidence if they can put some runs together against a really good Brandon Valley team. But it starts with a first inning shutout, so to speak, and that's what the Govs need. You've said it a couple of times. Get a fast start on defense.
Yeah, let's button it down. You know, don't give them anything. They're a good hitting team. You just can't give them free outs, and the girls know that.
So Alexa Harms will lead things off on our Comtech opening pitch coming from Noel Kist to the Governors. Harms, a left-handed batter, slap hitter, I'm assuming, and a pretty good bat handler. Kist will start her with a different look outside that Ellie Brewers had to go get. I kind of like that, actually, whether that was intentional to be that far outside, but you know, these hitters are going to come up here ready to go, and, well, there's that run up on it. This is a strike on through, let go by Harms, and a 1-1 start.
It might be a little bit even intentional. You know, there's scouting reports, and everybody knows Noel's trying to pitch ahead, get a lot of first pitch strikes. You know, she mitigates that with change of speed, but comes back with a really good pitch the second pitch.
So the 1-1, rocking back, coming through, a little bit high. Harms not a high in stature batter. One of the shorter players that you could tell when they came out and lined up on that third base line. She'll ask for a little bit of time. Now a 2-1 from Kiss, and another one that rises up high. Throwers on the receiving end, but 3-1 to start here from the leadoff batter for Brandon Valley. Once again, the start of this game sponsored by Comtech Communication and Electronic Sales and Services, and Pierre on the lower truck bypass. Kissed on a 3-1. Brings it again. That one in the zone, and Harms taking all the way, so that'll run the count full.
I don't know how many 3-1 curveballs Harms has ever seen, but she kind of looked over at her coach and just shook her head. But that was a 3-1 curveball, and that tells you a lot how Noel attacks.
So we'll see what you get on 3 and 2. One time in the payoff, and that one's up high, ball 4. Good start for Harms, a patient start, and a leadoff walk. You know, Chris, it's 100-plus strikeouts and counting for Noel Kiss, but she doesn't walk a lot of batters, obviously, either.
No, she's a pitch-to-contact pitcher, too. Even with that 100 strikeouts, she's always around the zone, right?
Arms ready to go, but squaring to bunt is Peyton Hamdahl. Second hitter, she's a junior shortstop for Brandon Valley. See Brandon Valley, they've got wristbands that are putting plays on. Harms is checking that. It was a foul strike on a square to bunt for Amdahl. She'll square again, and this one comes up high. Good miss there. Harms stays put at first base with a leadoff runner on and a base on balls. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peyton Amdahl. Amdahl, wide stance in that box. Watch Harms again as the pitch comes through, missing just a little bit outside. I imagine Harms runs on a lot of catchers, but they know the arm already of Ellie Broers. She's got a rocket behind the plate. 2-1. As this one missed a little bit outside. Amdahl ready to receive from Kist again. Squares to bunt. This one is down. It's covered up by Roman. She'll have to go to first base, and a good job by Olivia Hyman's covering from second base. That's a 3-4 put out, but it's a sacrifice. And that will move the leadoff runner.
That's a good play. We had a few of those where we weren't executing them. You know, Olivia isn't used to, she plays a lot of shortstop, not used to coming over and covering. Just a lot of moving parts, but converted that one, did a great job.
Third hitter is Danielle Scobie, DT, who will put it down the line on the third base side. Slow roller covered up by Templeton, but it is foul. Scobie ready to swing right away, but a little bit out in front of it and didn't make great contact. But this senior catcher, one of the leaders, only 4 seniors on this squad, but out of 14 players, I guess that's plenty. But good leadership for this Brandon Valley team coming in 9-3. Now 0-1. You've got Harms out at second now, being sacrificed. Here's a rise ball that has popped up in the middle of the infield. Somebody's got to take charge, and it'll be the second baseman. Hyman's making the play. Charlie Hull there to call for it, too, right in the back of the pitcher's circle. The Governors may be fortunate to make this play. That's the all-important thing here. And a great pitch and a good job getting Scobie to pop one up. So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position still, and Harms out at second base. From a leadoff walk was sacrificed on a good bunt by Peyton Amdahl. There's another infield pop-up on a first pitch. This one to the shortstop.
That is a Noel Kist inning out of pitch out of that.
And Hall will put it away. So a good job by the Governors as Brandon Valley goes no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. And after a half an inning, Brandon Valley 0, the Governors coming to bat. As we pause for 1 minute, you're listening to Pierre Governors Softball, your official voice of the Governors. River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
And Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Welcome back to Riggs High. Riggs Field. First inning, so far so good for the Pierre Governors. We'll see if they can get something going on offense. Before we do that, we'll pause for station identification. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Brian Oakland along with Chris Hall. And Chris, you said in the top of the first, at the end of that, Noel Kist, leadoff walk, no big deal. Made some really fine pitches to some really good hitters and a couple of infield pop-ups to get out of that inning.
Yeah, and it's Noel's way of pitching backwards, right? Her fastball is probably her third pitch. Even though there's scouting reports, you know, we saw it the last time she was here, balls breaking a foot and a half. These girls haven't really seen it. Had theBoth of those girls first pitch curveballs, expecting something rise ball, you know, something faster. Both girls hitting off the front of their stance, way forward, just 2 harmless little infield pop flies. other than the walk, that was a Noel Kist inning for sure.
Yeah, and we'll keep going on that point, too, but we'll get the first pitch coming here from Gabrielle Creech. A very good one for Brandon Valley. Big in stature out there, and she'll have that intimidation factor as she faces the Governors. Noel Kist, Olivia Hymans, and Kenzie Flotmeyer, the first three for the Govs. First one in the dirt and outside. Now Kist will swing and miss at a fastball that goes right on by. That one came with the heat. And Kist even at 1-1.
Yeah, I think if you saw this bus and didn't know it was with a fast pitch team, you would have thought it was a basketball team, because there's plenty of length on this Brandon Valley team. There's some girls that are pushing 6 foot, including this pitcher. She's halfway to the plate when she lets go of the ball.
Pitch near the knees, a swing and a foul. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Creech is ready to bring it again. This one misses off the outside edge, 2-2. And you talk about the basketball team. There might be some basketball players, but readily, for me, not a lot of names I readily recognize from that particular sport from earlier in the season. Now a rise ball too high, and after being down 1-2, Noel Kist is in a full count here. Yeah. Lead-off batter for the Governors, bottom of the first, no score.
We've talked about it, Oak, but you know, it's these teams, especially these Sioux Falls Metro teams. You see a few of the familiar names. But, man, we played Jefferson. There was 1 basketball player. The rest of the girls are softball players, and they play year-round. But, yeah, you would think you'd recognize some names for as guy as long in the tooth in the sports world as you are.
Calling me old?
No.
Or experienced. How about experience? Okay, I like that. Kist did strike out swinging. Had a good one, but just a little bit late. 1 down here, bottom 1 for the Governors. And Olivia Hymans looks at strike 1. Now swings and misses, strike 2. And Creech is serving well so far here. 2 strikes in the zone this time after a 6-pitch out to Noel Kist. And another swing and a miss, strike 3.
It's a lot about quick adjustments. You know, okay, you want to play right away. But if you're a basketball player and your shot is off, right, you can look at that and go into the gym and, okay, I'm fixing this. Softball is a little different. It's hard to get that game speed pitching and you know, okay, my swing's a little wonky, so you got to make quick adjustments.
Slow line drive out to short on a hop, but Kenzie Flotmeyer going to beat it out, and the Governors have a 2-out single in the infield for Flotmeyer.
We laughed when we were in Sioux Falls and even the week before. We've gotten a lot of those Gorky-type hits, and every one of them is with 2 outs. We could just get a couple of them with 0 outs, you know, put a little pressure on it, but hopefully the Govs can make something happen here, string a couple together.
Governors with a 2-out base runner now. Flotmeyer at first. Ireland Templeton stands in. And a foul ball off over the Governor dugout. Good chase given there by Lemke from first base, but runs out of room. Now Lemke.
Like both of these approaches here, Oak, you saw Flotmeyer attacking early, letting the ball get deep, hitting it opposite field. Templeton's trying to do the same thing.
Here's Ireland. This is a pop-up, foul territory. There's room, but catcher Scobie cannot get to it right near us. Once again, we're on the opposite side of the dugout from where our videographer, Brian Minnick, for Live Ticket is. He's out down the right field line a little bit. Get a little screenless view of the action. DRGnews.com. 0-2. Templeton swings and misses. All 3 go down swinging for the Governors. As far as those who get out, they get a 2-out single, but Flotmeyer stranded at first. And after 1 full inning of play on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, no score. Brandon Valley coming up in the top of the second after this 1-minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back in the field, in the dirt, in the grass. Grass, by the way, has gotten a little greener since the last time we were here. Not in front of us, but in the outfield it certainly has. We go to the top of the second, and Noel Kist and the Pierre Governors scoreless with the Brandon Valley Lynx. Brandon Valley's 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up. Kennedy Fitz in a 1-1 count here. First pitch was a strike. Second one up and away from Kist. Fitz, a left-handed batter, but she's looking to swing, playing left field today. Fitz, a junior. Now 2-1. Another one on the outside edge, or just off the edge. Here's one that is slicing down the left field line, and that will be foul. That one hit right into the teeth of a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind from the southeast, as was the forecast today. But obviously, when you get breezes like that from the south this time of the year, temperatures start to climb, and here we are, 90+ degrees today. 2-2 the count, and this one fouled away. Still 2-2. Tough to hit them into that breeze and keep them in fair play.
Get a little bit of spin, and it just keeps going, just like me hitting a slice in golf, right? But it hit a wall. That thing was going to be a double if it dropped in front.
The 2-2 from Kist. Keeps it low, and it's a line drive right back to Noel. She'll put it in the glove and tell her teammates, 1 down.
Ham sandwich, right?
No big deal.
Field your position.
I saw a video of Flatmeyer taking a hot shot and catching one over the weekend, too.
Yeah, she said she didn't even know it hit her glove. It hit it so hard. So,
all right, to first base on the next one. Another left-handed batter, Aniston Murray, on a 2-hopper. Short hop picked up by Amber Roman. And an unassisted play as she takes 1 step, steps on the bag, and 2 quick outs here for the Lynx in the top of the second inning.
Really good swing on a good pitch, down and in curveball to a lefty, and she was waiting for it, and she turned on it. So
here's Macy Lemke, and she'll send one down the left field line. That one 2 hops to the wall. Run down by Allie Keys, and she'll overshoot the cutoff man, but straight to third base to Templeton, and a good piece of hitting from the senior standout first baseman today, Macy Lemke. First hit for the Lynx, and a double has her on in scoring position.
I think that Brandon Valley coach is telling their girls to swing early, too. She was waiting on a first pitch fastball. She got it. Don't want to start seeing all the different speed curveballs, I don't think. So
2 down, runner in scoring position. Sierra Feck will put one out into center field, but Lemke has to hold up at third. Quickly back in by Aaliyah Erickson. So that'll keep Brandon Valley off the board for the time being. But now a first and third situation as Brittany Labor, the second baseman, will check into the batter's box.
And that's strictly scouting report there, too. That, early in the season, that coach is rounding and sending that girl. And they've got a scouting report that knows Erickson's got a really good arm out there. Would have been a close play, but you hold them, right?
Well, it was a hot shot out into center field for sure.
But still, you're sending early in the season. I would imagine that coach is going to send her.
Pitch outside. Feck will stay at first. The first and third situation, more often than not, that runner will go. Feck does this time, but it's a pop-up back behind the plate. Browers runs out of space. Looked like she had that one kind of measured a little bit, but again, even in a pop-up behind the plate, the wind affecting that one. That does send the runner back to first. It'll be 1-1 here to the 9-hitter. Riley Labor for Brandon Valley with a runner at third, one at first, trying to score first here in the top of the second inning. All with 2 outs. Here's a grounder to short. Hull picks it up onto first. 6-3 put out, and Brandon Valley will go quietly in the end of this, the top of the second inning. No runs, 2 hits, both left on. The Governors still scoreless with Brandon Valley. No score Pierre coming to the bottom of the second after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball. It's River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
It's time to Hills Vacation Home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Back with more Pierre Governors Softball. Bottom of the second, the Governors have their 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up. Brandon Valley went 2 up, 2 down, but got a double and a single to pose a threat in that bottom of the second inning. However, a good play by Charlie Hall from the shortstop position, knowing that runner was going, and she just knew right away the play was at first. Right. Threw right on to ultimately retire the side for the Governors. So
even though 2 base runners, it's a quick inning, right? Not a lot of pitches wasted. You're not out there a lot of time, and that's how Noel works, and that's how you keep that momentum going and keep them off the scoreboard.
Amber Roman, the batter, took 2 of them low in the dirt, and then will bounce a chopper to second baseman. Labor makes the play and a 4-3 put out onto first. So Roman was looking maybe for the her pitch on a 2-0 count. Might have gotten it, might have just missed it. In fact, it was elevated a little bit.
That's where she likes it.
We know that is her pitcher's Brewers. Now a 2-hopper out to short. Quick play over. Nicely done. That's Peyton Omdahl over to Lemke. And Brandon Valley on 4 pitches has 2 outs so far here in the bottom of the second.
I'm okay with it, though. Attack early. Get that pitch that you want to hit and attack. Even Amber's, that's her zone. Let it get deep. Hit it opposite field, but hit it hard. Just a cherry hop, right?
This is Allie Keys swinging first pitch. Gets underneath one that was delivered to the knees. It's fouled back here off to the right side. Lemke comes to get it. Gives it back in an 0-1 start to this one. Gabrielle Creech delivers strike 2. That one might have been on the inner half, but it wasn't the pitch that Keys was looking for.
That's just straight low gas, well located. Even if you hit that, you're not doing much with it. That's a great pitch.
0-2 now. Another one coming in. This one's a foul. That makes Gretchen Youngworth dance away from it from the on-deck circle. Staying alive is Keys. Chris, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a few change-ups that have all stayed in the dirt for Creech here, but she's got the fastball, and at least the first time through the order, it's certainly an effective pitch. Another good job by Keys to fight a low pitch off here.
Yeah, it looks like fastball and that drop ball. She's throwing a lot of those low drop balls at the bottom of the zone. Girls are doing a good job battling. Keys is putting together a heck of an at-bat here.
Still 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Straight gas.
3 up, 3 down. This time, the Governors, no runs, no hits, no errors on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Still no score. Brandon Valley rolls the lineup over when we come back in 1 minute with more Governors Softball, River 92.7, DRGnews.com.
First, agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Getting ready to head out to the game or getting back afterwards? DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux and Pierre. Your choice for quality service and selection.
At Dakota
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Back at Riggs High, Brandon Valley coming to bat here in the top of the 3rd inning, top of the order. Alexa Harms gets, I believe, an off-speed pitch that was up a little bit high, and she measures it, hits it out into right center field. Pulling that one, and Leadoff single. Now Harms on the first pitch to Peyton Amdahl, who swings and misses, will steal second base.
Great adjustment by Harms there, waiting on that off-speed pitch. Noelle missed her spot. Like you said, threw it up, and she did a good job of putting it softly into the outfield.
Just
and
outside.
Quick wheels, too. Holy.
Well, and I mean, look at how aggressive Brandon Valley is starting to get here. And it started with those 2 hits with 2 outs in the previous inning, but they're kind of making the Governors have to make adjustments on the fly. And Noelle Kist missing inside this time, outside the previous pitch. Now 2-1. Nobody out, just underway, top of the 3rd inning, but a runner in scoring position for the Lynx. One hopper, Templeton, good job checking the runner, and Harms held her ground, but then takes off after the long throw across the diamond. Templeton able to make the play to retire Amdahl for the first out, but Harms advances to 3rd. And the first run of the game for Brandon Valley, just 60 feet away.
Some wheels, though. You see that adjustment? She got the first inning walk. They tried to bunt her over, didn't work it out. Knowing Noelle's probably going to throw you something off speed on that first pitch, didn't even try to bunt her.
Bounce it to short. Over to the left to the middle of the infield goes Charlie Hall. Only one play, and that is to first. She makes that, but that will be an RBI ground out for Danielle Scobie. And the first run is on the board as the Lynx take a 1-0 lead.
It's just really, really good small ball. Single, stolen base. Push her over with a sacrifice or a good at bat, and then just a ground ball up the middle to score.
The pitcher Creech to hit. Nobody on base anymore. 2 down, 1-0 Lynx. First pitch, swing and a miss. And she got caught a little early on that one. Noelle Kist again. This one still early, but making contact wide of 3rd. It's foul down the left field line. At 0-2.
She is a good-looking player. Holy smoke, she's got a good swing. Tall and strong.
And she's shown the ability from the mound so far today, too. One of the faster fastballs I think we've seen this season, at least here in these home games that we broadcast. And there's another one fouled wide of 3rd, out of play.
We've faced some really, really good pitchers and girls that throw heat. A couple of the Brookings girl they brought in for relief that's going to state to pitch. She was throwing hard. The Lincoln girl, you could hear the ball make sound when she was throwing it.
Still 0-2, and this one fought off, and a good job there. That one inside, and Creech somehow was able to turn on it and just get a piece of aluminum on it.
You swing at those and it doesn't hit your hand. That ball broke 1.5 feet, and she got handle on it, but a lot of us would probably break our hands swinging at that pitch. She's got a good short swing.
Still 0-2. This one up high, she still fights it off. You talk about handling the bat. That's not a strike there, and she just tomahawked it and just fought it off.
That's a batter who wants to hit because she is confident. So, yeah, that pitch wasn't even close to a strike, and she hammered it.
Creech batting. These batters, by the way, would be looking into the sun. She's got the sunglasses on. Good job hanging back, but great pitch. A half-speed changeup.
Yeah,
it's a pop-up to short. Hull will make the play, and even though Brandon Valley scores a run to take a 1-0 lead, the Governors playing still pretty good defense. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base, 2.5, and the Lynx lead 1-0. Back in 30 seconds with more Governors softball.
Health. We offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step toward better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal...
Well, Brandon Valley gets on the board of the 1-0 lead. We'll see if the Governors can counter. They'll bring their 8, 9, and 1 hitters up. Gretchen Youngworth, Charlie Hall, Noelle Kist. And again, Chris Hall, this Brandon Valley team is putting bats on balls all day long so far. For the Governors, I really like what the Govs are doing defensively to this point.
For sure. And good teams are going to get those runs like that. Like I said, seemingly harmless, good hit. Straight steal, move her over, bring her in. I mean, it's small ball, and good teams are going to do that. Now we just got to find a way to claw back and put up something crooked.
So Creech out for her third inning of work. And again, first pitch of the inning stays low and in the dirt. This one had a little more heat on it, but she's tried some off-speed stuff. It seems to start all three innings, or at least the first two. There's a fastball swung on by Youngworth over to third. Nice play made by Janiyah Daniel. And a 5-3 put out.
You know, talking about that end of that last inning, I think that's the first changeup that Kist has had put in play all year.
Yeah.
I can't remember another one. It's a great pitch. We knew it was coming off the front foot. Thing of beauty.
Hey, how about that one? A line drive out to right field off the bat of Charlie Hull. That one got quickly out there, too, Sierra Fink, but you were thinking maybe throwing to first, and that could have been a play
thrown to first, but she's playing really shallow. I thought that might spin into the corner for a double, and I looked up, and she was right behind first base, but never thought about throwing it, right?
Yeah.
Come up, gun it.
So it's a one-out hit for Hall. Here's Kist squaring to bunt. She'll offer at it, and that is strike one. I think that's the good idea here for the Governors. Try to get something going
right, exactly
by creating some chaos. Small ball. Kist swings on the 0-1. This time fouls it away. Couldn't quite catch up to the fastball in her first at-bat. Struck out swinging, but maybe getting a little more feel for it. Kist will still stay up in the front of the box here, but 0-2. One out. Charlie Hall at first base. Swing and a miss. And Creech dialed it up that time.
You know, we're seeing her miss low on some of that, maybe not off speed, but that like a drop ball. But when she's living at your knees at 60-some miles an hour and just painting it, it's hard to lay off that drop ball. I mean, you got to identify it quickly. So
now Hymans gets a bat on ball, fouls it straight back. That one comes all the way out to the area near the pitching circle.
Must have tightened the fence a little bit.
Hymans, who struck out swinging on 3 pitches in her first at-bat, lays off of one here. Hadn't seen anything but strikes to this point, so a good layoff that time. Now 2 outs with Charlie Hull at second. Bottom of the third, it's 1-0 Brandon Valley. Creech dials, and Hymans seemed a little undecided on that one, but decided to swing late and misses it up high.
It's a rise ball, and you don't see Liv swing out of her zone very often, so that's a good pitch.
1-2, fouled back.
For a young player, she really knows where her zone is and what she wants to do with it every at-bat. So that's a really good rise ball swinging out of the zone. You're just not going to hit that.
And I still think it's a good signal that the 2 fouls that she's had are straight back. She's timing it up now, but got to keep coming with it. Now this one down the right field line, and it's fair to one hopper. It's in play. Hall's got to speed around third. Hymans is going for third. The ball just gets to the infield. It's an RBI triple for Olivia Hymans, and the Governors will tie at 1-1.
Hey, with 2 outs and that a great at bat. And your point, she had it timed up, right? She's following everything straight back, waited for the ball to get deep, and absolutely crushed one to right field. And I said get down because it almost bounced over the fence.
So Flotmeyer with a chance to give the Govs the lead. That's a shot out to center, but a beat on it for Harms. And a line drive out. And well-hit balls here for the Governors. They'll match as Hall scored from first on that play. And after 3 complete, the Governors get no runs on 2 hits, 1 left on. It's Brandon Valley 1 and the Governors 1. Score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas in Pierre. We'll take a 30-second timeout. The 4th coming up. We've got a good one going here. This is Pierre Governors Softball, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, drgnews.com.
Synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal...
To the top of the 4th. The Governors counter. A run for the Lynx in the top of the 3rd. Govs get 1. An RBI triple from Olivia Hymans to make it 1-1.
We talked a little earlier, Oak, about making those quick adjustments. Hyman's struggling a little bit this weekend. What am I doing wrong? Everybody said you got to level that swing off, and you saw that at that at-bat. That was a beautiful swing. So
off speed for strike one to Kennedy Fitz, but she measures up the next pitch. She's going for two and all the way into the bag, but off of the onto the third base side where Charlie Hall had to cover it up. The throw coming in from Aaliyah Erickson, but it's a leadoff double for Kennedy Fitz here.
Really good aggressive base running. Erickson's moving on that a little bit. If she would have set her feet, and footwork and a good throw, she's out by a couple feet, but tried to throw it in a hurry, and she's got to trust that strong arm.
Addiston Murray, next up, designated player, not playing defense today. She hit a hot shot to Amber Roman, who stepped on first in her previous at-bat. Kist misses ball one here. Leadoff runner again for Brandon Valley, this time at two, and Murray will get plunked in the right shoulder. Hit batsman will put her on. And Noelle Kist in a bit of a jam here with two base runners and nobody out.
Yeah, that was just, I think, a curveball that just kind of spun on her a little bit, didn't really break, and just hit her in the elbow or shoulder that was hanging out over the top.
Got to be careful with this one. Macy Lemke, who boomed a double down the left field line in her first at-bat, now standing in. First one up high. 1-0. Pulls the string on this one, but it's inside. And it's 2-0.
It's a good pitch there. That's the pitch Noelle wanted to throw.
But just, you can tell, she knows she's got to be careful with this particular batter. This one at the knees, strike one. Good position there, and Lemke was looking for her pitch. I think she knew that was a strike, but it wasn't her
Not
pitch.
her pitch, and that's a good
point. She kept the bat on her shoulder. Job well done for the senior. 2-1. Now bunting. Kist off to get it. Can't make a play on it. She was trying to barehand it. I think Noelle was really looking forward to, or looking ahead to maybe trying to shovel that play over to third base. Sliding in, however, is Fitz, and now it's bases loaded. We'll go an infield single on that, what would have been a sacrifice attempt. And the last thing the Govs expected on that one really was a square around a bunt by one of their top hitters.
Right. It was a good bunt, and I'm really okay with that play, that kind of that do or die play to try to steal it out. You just have to do that against better teams, and they've been talking about it for a couple weeks. Here and there, we got to steal outs where you're not expected to get them.
Nobody out. Bases are loaded. Strike one into Sierra Feet. Here's an infield pop-up, and it will go foul territory. Templeton takes charge and will make the play. So a big out here for the Governors, the first of the inning. And the 9-hitter will check in once again, Briley Labor.
That ball moved 30 feet in the air. Ira was drifting the whole time, did a great job camping underneath it and just kind of staying calm like she does and sliding underneath it and making the catch.
Labor 0 for 1 out on a grounder to short, her previous at bat. Strike one is in here. Force at every base here for the Govs. Still one out. We're in the top of the fourth and a 1-1 tie. Good ball from both teams so far today. Kist rocking back, delivers up high this time, maybe a little inside as well.
That's a miss on Noelle's part, the high curveball, but that still looked pretty good, but I think it broke inside.
So 1-1 situation here. This one delivered, and that'll be a base hit out into center field for Labor. Good pickup by Erickson, and the runners will only advance one base. Ooh. The throw coming in bounced off of the pitching rubber, but no more advances from there. That's an RBI hit, though, for the 9-hitter. Brandon Valley will take a 2-1 lead as Kennedy Fitz will score from third.
Exactly what you should do with a breaking ball, though, right, Oak? It's breaking away from you. Just serve it out in the right center. Beautiful little hit. No overswing, just a great swing, great approach.
Now Alexa Harms, who singled and scored the first run of the game in the third inning. Standing here, Lynx lead 2-1. Takes ball one away. Just again, that one good pitch, but across the chin of a crouching batter. Just wondering maybe where that pitch was, just asking politely. Well, they put a strike on the board. I don't know if that's what the call was. Here's a strike in. Yeah, Dale Farman, when he calls a strike, you'll know it.
But yeah, he's a big boy back there. I don't think you want to argue with him too much.
Scoreboard again says 1-2, but it might still be 2-1. We'll just play it as it goes. Bases are loaded, one out. Harms will hit this one out into right field in the gap. Back to get it, though, is right fielder Flotmeyer. It'll be a sac fly as runners will advance from second and third. Well hit ball by Alexa Harms.
Yeah, I thought that one had a chance right off the bat. The wind had died a little bit, but it must be blowing up there a little bit. It hung up, but Kenzie did a good job getting behind it.
Addison Murray scoring from third, and Lemke will advance to third while Briley Labor stays home at second, squaring to bunt, but not bunting at all, or no intention. It was just an extra opportunity for the runner Labor to advance to second base in a first and third situation.
Freshman with a little bit of a late slide. I think it kind of hurt, and ended up her head took the base off the
She slid in head first, I think.
And it was late, too.
Saw Harms slide in head first earlier. So the first pitch this time to Amdahl. Missing. Brandon Valley with 2 runs in now, and it started with a double and a hit batsman plus a bunt single to get the bases loaded with nobody out. Here's a fly out to left field. Backpedaling and measuring. A nice job by Allie Keys to put it away, but Brandon Valley does some damage. And they'll take a 3-1 lead with 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits and 2 runners left on base. No Governor errors. We've got a 3-1 count as we're in the middle of the 4th inning. 30 seconds and we're back for the Governors to see if they can counter again when we come back with more Pierre Governors softball.
Score the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology. You'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierce, South Dakota.
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal.
Brandon Valley got a little crooked in that that 4th inning with 2 runs across. Still, it could have been more. Anytime you get bases loaded and nobody out, I mean, the opportunity to really put a damaging inning on the board is imminent. And, I think the Govs did everything they could to minimize the damage to just 2 runs there.
Yeah, really good job of getting out of that. And that's what good teams do, right? You put a run on them, then they come back and put something crooked up. But Pierre did a really good job of getting out of that with just 2.
Governors against Gabby Creech. First ball swinging this time is Templeton. A little 2-hopper softly to third. And Janiah Daniel will make the play. I'm impressed with just 2 plays made by Daniel at third base so far. And the first one she made, she had this little underhand
little
flip,
sidearm,
a la Cal Ripken, and just a beautiful throw. Bouncer to second this time. Labor gets there. Eats that one up right into the torso, and a good job. She's actually feeling a little pain on that, but she did a perfect fundamental job of covering it up. And now 2 pitches and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th for the Governors.
Yeah, second baseman, you got that short throw over there. Just knock it down, pick it up, be calm.
Here's Brewers taking the first pitch all the way, doing what you got to do. Right. I mean, if you get 2 pitches on 2 outs, you got to make this pitcher work somehow, some way. On a hot day in the bottom of the 4th inning, Creech misses once. Brewers patient, watches this one go up and away.
Ellie wanted that one. She looked back and smiled. Like, good job, way not to swing, but that's her wheelhouse too, right? She likes that high ball.
So ball 2. This one even higher, and again, trying something a little bit different. Gabby Creech unable to hit, and it's 3-0.
I don't know if that ground ball ever hit the second baseman's glove. She just wore that one, picked it up, and threw it out.
3-0 is in. I always say 3-0 automatic, but that's not always the case.
No.
But this time, she certainly delivered. It
kind of has to be, though, here.
3-1. Brewers still in the advantage. Ooh, this one, pitcher's pitch. Outside edge, right at the knees, and it's strike 2. So a full count here. Brewers has to go in protect mode, and this one a little low, ball 4.
Yeah, if you can, I said it earlier, if you can make your living throwing that hard, down right at the knees or below, and you can spot that, you're just, it's a tough assignment for a hitter. It really is.
First walk of the game issued by Creech, who has struck out 5 Governors here in the first 3 innings. Here we are in the bottom of the 4th. 2 out base runner, Brewers, who runs for herself, even though as a catcher could be entitled to a courtesy runner. Foul. Now a hot shot out to short, and to her left to make the play off the bat of Allie Keys is Peyton Omdahl. She'll step on second for the force out.
Just an atom ball, low pitch. She hit it hard, one hopper right, one step to the shortstop. Good little play.
No runs, no hits. 2 out walk, a runner stranded, 1 left on for the Governors. 4 complete. The Gales Gas Service scoreboard. The Lynx lead the Govs 3-1. We're back in 30 seconds with more Pierre Governors softball.
Online loan application. You can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit.
Back at Riggs Field, Governors were out on 3 groundouts in the bottom of the 4th inning, but Chris Hull, really every one of them hard hit. And here they are in a 3-1 ball game against what I would consider one of the top teams in Class AA here in Brandon Valley. And 4 complete. We're actually midway through this one, and I guess to William Wilson, I haven't been thinking too much about halftime, but halftime is sponsored by Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial. You'll find them in the Capitol Creek Center Plaza in Pierre. We'll hear from them maybe after this half inning. Brandon Valley, meat of the order coming up. It's Scobie, Creech, and Fitz. Hitters numbers 3, 4, and 5. They lead 3-1 with a runner in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. The Governors have 1 in the 3rd as well. Here's Kist delivering to Scobie, and a good pitch on strike 1 at the knees.
Spotted well, low curveball. Again, Noel's pitches break a little bit more than most people are used to seeing, and she's spotting it well.
Scobie 0 for 2, looking for one here, sends one deep to left field. That's over the head of Allie Keys. It'll bounce off the fence and left and come all the way back. Halfway out in the outfield, Keys will try to deliver a long throw, but Scobie is able to reach all the way to third base, and a leadoff triple here for DT Scobie.
Yeah, Keys is on a little bit of an island there with everybody else shifted over. Just kind of, there's got to be some communication there saying fence so she can stop and play that ball off the wall, because she was running to the fence and the ball hit the fence and bounced away from her, so allowed her an extra base there.
Charlie Hall ran all the way out to left field and almost got to that ball before Keys could after the bounce off the wall. Scobie with a good piece of hitting to get on base, and now Hall with a chance to pick one up over to Hyman's off the glove, and well, it was a tough play for Charlie Hall, but yeah, in the hole towards second base. But Creech will take first base, and the run will score. 2 batters in and a 4th run in for Brandon Valley. Creech will be run for here. Maddie Plumtree, a junior, checks in out of the dugout. There's an infield pop-up. This is going to be in foul territory. Templeton's got to run it down. Can't get to it. Once again, it's a wind-aided foul ball.
Wind-aided, that slice up, left-handed batter, so it's spinning right away. And, that one on Charlie, she was thinking about diving there and knows she's got to try to steal one, and that's a play she wants to make, but it's a 50-50, right? But
0-1 to start. Plumtree stealing second base, and I think she caught the Governors off guard a little bit. Brewers on an outside delivery. Had to reach for that one and just couldn't quite get up and fire down to the bag. 1-1 here, and the hitter is Kennedy Fitz, and a long fly center field. And this one gets Erickson spun around. A one-hopper to the fence. Plumtree around third. She will score as Fitz trades places with the base runner, and suddenly Brandon Valley's offense is really starting to click now.
And I think it's an adjustment. Second, third time through, they're not looking fastball right now. They're looking off speed and, not really getting fooled, staying back and putting good swings on it.
First one here to another left-handed hitter, Aniston Murray. Low and away. 5-1, the updated score now. Brandon Valley leading. They're batting in the top of the 5th. Nobody out yet. 3 batters so far, and you've had a triple, a tough error, plus another RBI double. 2 runs in. Fitz asks for time to tie her shoe. She's ready to go back at 2, and now Murray gets underneath a low pitch. He'll foul it down the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See, Hall, the one thing I was really going to say about Kitts is, you see Brandon Valley making the adjustments, and I think the key for the pitcher now is just you've got to keep the ball down as much as you possibly can. Every single pitch, unless you think you can catch them off guard. And there's a foul tip, and fortunate here as Brewers had to run it down. Murray, if that was a clean swing and a miss, would have been able to run down to first.
Yeah, and you're right, Oak, that these pitches that they're hitting are up a little bit. Noel wants it down at the knees.
1-2 to Murray. She'll get a bat on this one, and as Hyman's tried to smother it with a backhand, unable to do so. That one gets by. It was hard enough hit. Not a lot of time to get in front of that ball, but also not a lot of time to get the glove down for Hyman's. This one will be a single out into right field, and that'll score the next run from second base. 3 in for Brandon Valley, breaking this one open with a 6-1 lead.
But we got to figure out how to get some outs here, right? Yep. Somebody's going to have to make a good play on a hard hit ball or pull the string and find a little magic on the mound there.
First baseman Macy Lemke fouling off the first one this time. Takes one low, now 1-1. When I talked with Kara McDougal, Brandon Valley head coach, before this game, we talked a little bit about Brandon Valley's ability to put runs on the board. And, I think she was wary of, a good pitching and good defensive performance perhaps by Pierre and what they'll face today. But really, she wasn't concerned. She knows that she's got the hitters to string things together. Here's another seeing eye single for Lemke. This one through the hole on the left side. Hall unable to run it down. Lemke has her 3rd hit in as many at-bats. And runners on first and second. Still nobody out. We will have a conversation at the mound. Elizabeth Keys coming out trying to settle things down. Maybe a momentum-breaking attempt here from Coach Keys.
She's going to bring in Flotmeyer to finish the game. She's waving her in anyway.
Okay.
We were talking to some of the players and coaches this weekend in Sioux Falls and having conversations when we were traveling in Sioux Falls too. And, people think, fast pitch softball, it's a 2-1 game, and you just, in high school, we're just not seeing that a lot. There's 14, 15 run games, and so to see a game like 1-0 like we played against Washington is definitely an anomaly, right? But it's also, indicative of how good these teams are, especially once you get to the Metro and the Sioux Falls. The girls just, no matter how good the pitching is, they're going to put up 5, 6, 7 runs, and it's what are you going to do offensively to put up your 5 or 6 or 7 to stay in the game.
So a break in the action here. Timeout on the field as Mackenzie Flotmeyer will check in. Let's take a 30-second break. Timeouts in our broadcast, by the way, brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. This is a good day for a Coke. Icy cold style, and we'll be back. 30 seconds at 6-1. Brandon Valley still nobody out, and 2-1. Top of the 5th. This is Pierre Governors softball.
Now's the perfect time to bring your tractor, combine, windrower, or self-propelled sprayer into Grossenberg Implement for an air conditioner checkup. For just $150, their certified techs will inspect and make sure your AC is running at peak performance, so you can stay cool in the field all season long. Visit your local Grossenberg Implement and talk to a service manager for full details. Grossenberg Implement, keeping you cool where it counts.
What if we said back to the Owyhee Federal Credit?
Ameriprise Financial Wealth Partners in Pierre. They're our halftime sponsor here. Governor Softball. Governor broadcasts on River 92.7. Welcome back. Mackenzie Flotmeyer takes to the mound. McKenzie with a little more speed and good time for a pitching change, among other things, because it's a hot day. And, you got another game coming up on Thursday in Sioux Falls for the Govs. Flottmeyer coming up high. She's facing Sierra Fike for the first time.
Right. Flotsy threw a heck of a game against Washington, and talking to her after the game, she was like, man, it's the first time I felt like I control every pitch that I have. So look for her to build on that a little bit.
2-1 here. Fike will try a bunt, but that one stays foul. Brewers puts it in a glove. 2 runners on, first and second. It's Aniston Murray, the lead runner. Macy Lemke, the trail runner. Fike has a 2-2 count. She's 1 for 2 so far. Well, this one out to right field. Does it stay in play? It does, and it is fair. Kist is out there. She runs it down and throws it in. 1 run will score, and the throw gets away from the catcher. Here comes Lemke trying to score, and she will. On the throw that gets away. And it is Kist out there in right field, but the relay just a little bit wide on the first base side, so a rare, real kind of a misplay here, but not I won't say rare for the hit. It's a 2-run or a 2-out double.
Right. And that's just a tough play to come in for Kist, landing right. Hard hit ball, wind blowing away from you, the ball spinning away from you. I think initially she thought she was camped out under it, and it started tailing, and she put her head down and took off and knew she was in trouble then. But
I said a 2-out double. There's still nobody out. Here's a hot shot to second. Hymans will knock it down, makes the play, lets a run score, and you have to do that. Fike will score from third. Finally, the Governors have an out on the 7th batter of the inning. Bases will be empty, but 6 are in now. It's the Lynx now lead 9-1. It's amazing just how things can snowball, and suddenly, you're in a situation where you're trailing by 8, and you came into this game or in this inning trailing by only 2.
Right, and it's nothing, no glaring errors. They're just hard hit balls. If it was a hockey game, you'd call it puck luck, right? We've hit some hard balls right at girls. Their hard hit balls are finding gaps or edges of gaps where girls are moving, trying to make a play. I'd call it puck luck, but sometimes you got to make your own luck too, right?
You do. Harms, the leadoff hitter, stands in for the 4th time today. Lynx are batting in the 5th inning. Flottmeyer with 2 of them in the zone, now off the maybe off the end of the bat, but a blooper out behind second base, out to center. Erickson will hit it back into the infield, but the second hit of the day for Alexa Harms, who is 2 for 2. She's walked and had a sac fly also.
There again, 0-2. Kenzie threw the pitch she wanted to throw, a rise ball out of the zone. Batter did a good job of just throwing her hands up there and hitting it off the end of the bat into the outfield, but just Kenzie did everything she wanted to do there.
Here's another hot shot to the right side. Diving is Hymans. She can't get it. Kist on the pickup, bobbles it, and that gives an opportunity for both runners to advance yet again. Peyton Omdahl hitting it hard.
She can move. There was a no doubt there, and she turned to put her head down, put the jets on. She's fast.
Technically an error, I would say, gives both of those runners their extra base. Now runners at second and third, still only 1 out. Flottmeyer continues to deal and trying to dial it up. Kist, by the way, in the pitching aspect, the book is closed on her. Pitches 4+ innings. Pitched into the 5th, did not register it out. Gives up 6 runs, 5 of them are earned by my count.
That's not at the new truck, Oakland. You're
went
okay.
The wrong way. Yeah, I fulfilled a midlife crisis, or I solved one, I suppose,
proud of you.
with a new purchase. Foul ball this time from DT Scobie over the Pierre dugout. Now 1-1. Ooh, swings and misses on this one.
We're talking about Kenzie executing those pitches, right? And that's a pitch that she's spotting up well now. She's spotting that low pitch. Didn't get the call a couple times, but she's hitting that spot now. Got a little more control.
1-2. Flottmeyer, this one at the knees, strike 3.
That's the pitch she didn't get earlier in the count. But that's her pitch. Drop ball, low away, high 50s, 60 miles an hour. She's bringing that. Same way with that other pitcher. That's the spot that, man, if you can hit it, you're you're in control.
That's the first strikeout of a Brandon Valley batter by Pierre pitchers today. It really is. Yep, Kiss didn't get any. She walked one batter, and again, served up 10 hits. But, again, it just seemed like one of those days where Noel isn't pitching all that bad. I think you just got to give it to Brandon Valley. I mean, this is a really good offensive team.
Yep, handled the bat well.
Ooh. And the 0-1 will hit the batter this time. Creech takes this one off of her left upper arm. That is her, not her pitching arm, but still is feeling that one. The second hit batsman by a Pierre pitcher. Creech taking her time to get to first. She was courtesy run for, and she in the previous at bat, she'll be run for again this time.
Just one that got away, a rise ball that kind of tailed up, tailed in, and hit her square. That one hurt.
Well, and again, I mean, you're probably talking 60 plus on that fastball, and they're just a little bit faster when they run up a little higher too.
I've caught Kenzie enough to know that when you don't catch it, it hurts.
It's a hot shot right at third base coach and head coach Kara McDougall, but Kennedy Fitz, who has doubled in her last 2 at-bats, including driving a run in, unable to take out that target. The 0-1 misses inside. Another left-handed hitter here. The bases are reloaded after Creech is hit by a pitch. Madeline Plumtree is batting for her, or running. Here's a comebacker to the mound. Flottmeyer knocks it down, and we'll get the third out of the inning. Good job by Flottmeyer to stay with it. And a big inning for Brandon Valley. They'll score 6 and still leave the bases loaded. We'll count up the hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits in that inning as well. Brandon Valley breaking it open. They lead 9-1 as we're at stretch time here in the middle of the 5th inning. We'll take a 30-second break. The Governors will look for offense when they come to the plate once again. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Xander Auto
Parts. It's a place to lock up money. It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Once a member, always a member, even if you move out of the area. Learn about our share certificate specials at www.dakotaplainsfcu.com or stop by and visit with us on North Garfield at the Northridge Plaza. Competitive loan rates, including home loans, complete with a convenient drive-through lane. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Back at Riggs Field, to the bottom of the 5th we go. Gretchen Youngworth stands in. Strike 1 is in. Ball 1 is down low. And a 1-1 count. Brian Open along with Chris Hull. Youngworth gets one past the third baseman, but a ricochet over to the shortstop. And it's
snake bit.
Amdahl who is able to make the long throw. A 6-5-3 put out to start.
There's
Gretchen
your
Youngworth with a hard hit ball, but it will just be a...
And Gretchen's just snake bit. The last few weeks, she's getting her chances to bat, and she's hit the ball hard on the ground almost every at bat. She just cannot find a hole right now.
Charlie Hull, 1 for 1. Here's a 3-hopper to short. Amdahl with a more routine play this time, and another out registered.
Oak, the other thing, when you're traveling and you get to talk to people, and people are like, oh, you guys are the ones that do it on the radio and live stream, and all the kids that have come here have just mentioned how good of a game day experience it is with the music and the announcers and the concessions right here, and the field that the district and Mosier have kind of really taken on, and they all say how much they like coming here, which I don't think you'd hear that from a lot of teams saying, especially from Sioux Falls, saying we like coming to Pierre, because none of them like to come here because they think it's only 2.5 hours for them and not us every time we play, and that's kind of the joke. But, the Watertown coach mentioned it. The Yankton coach mentioned it. A couple of the Sioux Falls teams were like, man, we really like coming because it's a ball game atmosphere. There's announcers. There's
1-1 and Noel Kiss. Another grounder to second base this time. More hard hitting for the Governors, but better defense for the Lynx, and 3 up, 3 down. Go Pierre after 5 complete. It's 9-1 Brandon Valley, and we can keep talking about that a little more when we come back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Governor Softball on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
For reliable,
safe, of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Brandon Valley leading. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Brian Oakland along with Chris Hall as we were talking about a game day experience for visiting teams in that last inning, Chris. It's what I was going to say. And you're talking about how visiting teams seem to like coming here for the game day experience. What I was going to say is I've never met a metro area basketball coach who likes coming to Pierre on a weeknight.
Right.
The only thing they say about it is they like the energy of the Pierre crowds and things like that. But nobody likes to come here on a 3.5-hour road trip on a weekday. Of course, when the sun is still shining and you can get back at a decent hour, it's a little bit different as well.
But it's everything, right? It's the announcers. It's the music in between the games. It's concession in between the innings, everything. You know, you go to a lot of these places, and they have nice fields and nice facilities. I would say, Brian, Yankton's probably the only one that even comes close because they've got an unbelievable facility, lots of people, lots of trees, you know, music, announcers. And that means a lot to the girls and the families, you know, to hear your girl get to be announced, music, keeping the energy up. So, my cousin Abby plays for Jefferson in Sioux Falls, and they hate coming here for volleyball. And I said, it's only 3 hours for you. It's not for us when we have to come to see you.
Leadoff out registered on a soft line out or a fly out to Charlie Hall at second off the bat of Aniston Murray. Now Macy Lemke, who's had a great day offensively, is in and takes strike one. This one let her high, maybe a little bit up to the shoulders, and from Kenzie Flottmeyer, and it's 1-1.
That's when she wanted there, that rise ball right on the zone. Good hold.
Double, single. A run scored for Lemke today.
Right. Same pitch, but that's a fastball, not a rise ball, right? Top of the zone. Great back-to-back pitches by Flottmeyer there.
2-2 now. Lemke. Watch that stride. Lemke will stride early and just kind of get set. She puts her foot right up to the front of the box. A close pitch, but not getting. The call here is Flottmeyer. It'll be 3-2. Watch her. Steps up. Now ready to hit, and she takes strike three. She was ready to head on to first base, but on the outer edge, the call.
There's a lot of programs that coach that out, that early stride, get there and get loaded, right? Your momentum is coming from your hip, not your stride, right?
Sure.
And it gets you in a quicker swing. You're loaded faster, right? And there's a lot of teams that do that.
So here's Sierra Fike, the right fielder, also a productive day, 2 for 3. Drove in a run with a double in her last at bat in that 6-run 5th inning for Brandon Valley. Here's another hot shot past the glove of Hymans at second base. Out to Kist in right field, who makes the strong throw into the second into the bag. 2-out single. Fike is 3 for 4 out of the 8-hole today.
It's a hot shot there, and that's one of those 50-50 plays, right? Hyman jumps for it, but that thing was rocks, so that would have been a heck of a play if she would have made it.
Now it's Briley Labor to bat. Number 9 hitter with a 2-out. Runner on for the Lynx. They've scored in 3 straight innings, a run in the 3rd. Pierre got their only run to counter that one. We were at a 1-1 tie. The Lynx got 2 in the 4th, but 6 in that big 5th. Here out to the right center field gap, and a long run made by Aaliyah Erickson, who is able to make the play and save a run here, if not more.
Pure athletic.
Go ahead.
Pure athletic right there, and that's the thing. That's why she's out there in center field. Got a good read on the ball, long arms. It was tailing away from her. That's a tough play.
No runs this time on 1 hit, 1 runner left on. We're through 5.5. It's still 9-1. Brandon Valley. The Governors will try again in 30 seconds. This is Governor Softball.
For high-quality replacement auto parts,
Look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal.
Go to the bottom of the 6, 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Governors. Hyman's the first one, the second baseman. Swing and a miss on strike. On the first pitch, Gabby Creech continues to deal for the Brandon Valley Lynx.
Something a little off speed there. Had Hyman's out ahead of it.
Well, Hyman's rocked a triple to the right field corner. In her previous at-bat, that was all the way back in the third inning, though. That one scored the only run of the game for the Governors so far. Foul off the right side this time, and it's 0-2, and Creech will bring it again. There's a pop-up in the infield. Backing off is Amdahl, and she'll make a nice play with a backhanded effort.
Normal
Over
day,
the
that
shoulder.
might find a hole, but the wind just held that up. You know, and there's something to be said about home field, too, right? We go to Sioux Falls and we play a lot of amazing complexes. The girls got to play at Augustana against Jefferson, I believe it was. But if you know you're going to your home field, right, and you're playing at your home stadium, and there's an advantage there. And I think it makes it, you know, it sounds corny, but it makes it home.
Yep.
And I think other teams respond to it, too, right? You know where you're going to play. You know what you got when you're going there, and so Mosier's done a great job, and he'll be the first to tell you he's not done yet. So,
Foul ball and a chopper by Flotmeyer to third, and it was ruled foul now off the fists here, and just a little pop up to the pitcher's mound, and an easy play for Creech, and another out.
Good pitch there, something that rode up in to Flotmeyer. You know, I think Kenzie thought she was getting a certain pitch, and that pitch had a little more tail in it. And good job of finding the handle of the bat there on the pitcher side.
Now it's Ireland Templeton here, and Creech hits the target, but it was a little off the inside corner. 9-1, Brandon Valley in front. Templeton, this one a little bit late, and the roller over to second base, over to her left to get it is Labor. She'll deliver. Creech has really settled in the last 3 innings. Again, 3 up, 3 down, nobody left on for the Governors. 6 complete, 1 more to go. Brandon Valley will try for insurance after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Wagner Auto Company.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck
Welcome
Energy.
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit.
Back to the backyard of Riggs High School. 9-1. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Glad to have you aboard here watching this one. DRGnews.com, your DRG News app, or just listening to your official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
And again, top of the 7th, and it's the top of the order for Brandon Valley. Alexa Harms batting for the 5th time today. Peyton Amdahl, Danielle Scobie due up here for the Lynx. Will work against Kenzie Flotmeyer. Flotmeyer on in relief of Noelle Kist, who pitched into the 5th inning, but that 5th inning is when things really got out of hand, and Brandon Valley's offense proved its worth. First one missed by Flotmeyer. Here's one down the line and just missing wide of first base. That one landed on a hop in fair territory, but then misses going over the bag. And it is ruled foul for a 1-1 count.
But it goes to, you know, that Brandon Valley did a great job of adjusting, communicating, going up with a plan to go at the plate at Kist, you know. Third time through.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Chris, you know, you've heard me say my favorite players on the field are usually the catchers, but offensively, I love the the players like this one that we're seeing right now. Alexa Harms, to me, is a quintessential leadoff hitter. You know, and here she'll put bat on ball again. It's a 2-3 hopper over to Hyman's and a quick flip to Amber Roman. That's a 4-3 put out. That's the first time that, well, she's been retired on a sac fly once, but a 2-2 turns to 2-3 here. Anyway, point being, bat on ball, you get on base, you run the base as well, and obviously you get that a lot from center field type players, and that's Alexa Harms here.
I think it starts with her approach too. You know, she knows what she wants to do. When you're that fast, you don't have to crush the ball. You hit the ball on the ground and get there, but she's put together some really good swings, good at bats. You know, been fooled a couple times, fouled balls off, and then made good swings to get on base. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
1-1 so far to Peyton Omdahl now. A rise ball goes too tall, and it's 2-1. We're in the top of the 7th.
It even goes to her adjustments. You know, when Kist was up there, she was at the front of the box, almost stepping out. And, you know, she was in the back of the box against Flottmeyer because she wants to get that ball from Noel before it starts breaking, right? It seems like an easy adjustment. It's one a lot of those players do. But she goes up there looking for a specific pitch to hit hard somewhere.
3-1 now. Omdahl taking another one out of the zone. Now this time, ball 4 away. Rare walk here for Governor pitchers. I believe only the third of the day. Maybe just the second. They've hit a couple of batters as well.
Mackenzie recently has done a really, really good job of avoiding not only the walks, but these long at-bats, you know, full counts where they're 3 or 4 foul balls. We had a game in Sioux Falls, and I think it was against, I can't remember, it was the Class A school. She threw 190 pitches just because everything was full counts and they were fouling stuff off. And so Kenzie's trying to do a better job of hitting her spots, pitching ahead like we talked before.
Fly ball to right by Scobie, and that's put away by Kiss. That'll be out number 2 here, top of the 7th, with Omdahl still at first.
But, yeah, she threw 190 pitches in 7 innings, and it was almost a 2-hour game. But it was just because of that. She was trying to be too fine and trying to get these swing and a miss strikeouts. Good pitch there.
Strike at the knees.
You know, trying to throw early, get ahead, and then, you know, try maybe to pitch to contact a little bit more. Sorry.
Creech, the batter. Got plunked in her last at-bat. Here's a foul ball off of the helmet, off the mask of Ellie Browers.
Didn't even flinch. Tough catcher.
She was just dazed, didn't really know where the ball was. But anyway, I think Creech, or not Creech, but Creech batting here fouls this one away. It is Omdahl at first. I was going to say on that previous pitch, I think Omdahl might have been running, but inconsequential. It's 0-2 now. 2 away for the Govs here, top of the 7th. Up high, and Creech puts bat on ball again. Shallow center field. Erickson coming in. And for the second inning in a row, Aaliyah Erickson makes a nice play to end the inning. And the Governors have 1 at-bat to go. No runs for the Lynx, no hits, 1 left on. We'll go to the 7th. It's Brandon Valley leading 9-1 over the Govs. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Well, once again for the Governors, as we welcome you back to Riggs Field, just one big inning, but you got to give it all to the Brandon Valley offense for putting the score where it is. Yep. And Chris Hull, I mean, a 6-run inning, that certainly is plenty to build a big lead. What could be an insurmountable lead here, but the Governors will give it one more try here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They've got Amber Roman, Ellie Browers, and Allie Keys, 3 good hitters in the 5, 6, and 7 spots. And Roman, a hot shot right at Briley Labor, who is playing closer to first than she was to second. That's just, once again, I mean, that's just good placement and understanding. You know, these right-handed hitters, for the most part, are not going to catch up to the fastball of Gabrielle Creech, and they haven't. Right. Here's Browers taking ball 1.
But she squared it up, hit it. I mean, she hit it hard, but just right at her.
That's the that's the story of the day for the Governors offensively. They've hit a lot of balls hard today.
Yep.
Brandon Valley has just played one of the better defensive games I think we've seen this season.
Yeah, for sure.
2-0, a couple of near misses for Browers. And a nice play here by Scobie. That's a foul ball off the screen. It was coming right back to the umpire. Scobie sticks the glove out. Saves Dale Farman's life. Even though he was padded up. 2-1 now. Browers wide of third this time. That's an Ellie Browers type type swing or hit that time, but it is 2-2.
Yeah, letting the ball get deep so you can see it a little bit longer. Just trying to hit it hard the opposite field. Great approach.
Got to protect here. 1 down. This one is up high. Ball 3. And a rare full count here. We've seen some full counts, but really not a lot. I mean, we've had ready hitters for both teams all day today. 3-2. And that one hits the mark, but it's just a little bit outside. Browers gets a close one here. 1 out base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. Governors trailing by 8 at 9-1. Allie Keys here is still working their way through the lineup for just the 3rd time. That's a check swing and a foul by Keys. Backing off the padding of the backstop. Keys hit a hot shot up the middle last time, but Peyton Omdahl was able to get to it and step on second for a force out. Allie is 0 for 2. This one a little low.
But it's even that big inning, Oak. I mean, they earned it. Brandon Valley earned it. You know, what'd you say, 6-7 hits, and they were hitting everything hard. Great adjustments. 3rd time through the lineup. Seen Noel twice. There it is.
A good shot. Keys, who handles the bat well, solid liner out to out to center field. That'll advance Browers to second. And that is it's just the 4th hit for the Governors, but it's their first since the 3rd inning when they scored a run. Scobie out to talk to Creech a little bit. Quick little break in the action, a timeout, a trip to the mound. Timeouts brought to you by Coca-Cola Modeling in Pierre.
And you see it from Keys too. She had a big opposite field triple this weekend, but she is a up the middle and more even of a pull hitter. You know, she's got a short swing, quick hands. She doesn't like to let the ball get as deep as some of our girls do, and it's just a different approach. But when she squares it up the middle, that's her game.
Gretchen Youngworth a little late on pitch number 1. She's pulled a couple of balls today, hit them hard, but on the ground. And pulls another one here, but hits a weak one wide of third, and that'll be a foul, and it's 0-2. Macy Lemke coming into first, or coming into the pitcher's mound from first base, probably just a exchange of a quick thought here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Youngworth goes down swinging.
Had her timing off on that a little bit. I don't know if that was something off speed, but she got her.
Now, even the off-speed stuff comes in quick.
Yeah, right.
Gabby Creech.
Quote-unquote changeup.
Here down to the last batter, Charlie Hull, a 9-hitter. Solid, or a level swing, but waves through, and it's strike 1. Charlie singled and scored the only run of the game for the Governors in the 3rd inning. Scored on a triple by Hymans. Pop up, that'll go foul right side, and it's 0-2. The Governors down to their final strike.
Got Charlie swinging at pitches that she doesn't really like to handle, those high pitches. The first one, just not her game, and then you're in a little bit of a hole. Now she's just defending on that one. But
Browers at second, Keys at first. Here's the 0-2. That one stays low. Good take for Charlie Hull. You know, when you got to go in protect mode with 2 strikes and you got these fastballs coming in, it's hard to lay off anything, really. This one good back pitch to the mound on a hop and a 1-3 put out. That'll do it as Brandon Valley will finish off the Pierre Governors. Here in the 7th inning, scores nothing. They get 1 hit plus a walk, 2 runners left on base, but your final score On the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, Brandon Valley 9 runs on 14 hits, and the Governors 1 run on 4 hits. We'll give you all the details when we come back. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. We pause for 3 minutes. A full post game coming up, and the post game is given to us, the courtesy of Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. Solid win for a solid ball club. The Brandon Valley Lynx win at 9-1 here, your official home of the Governors, River 92.7, and live streaming at drgnews.com.
At Black Hills Federal Credit.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal.
Call 605-224-6167. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. TMA, next to the Northridge Plaza in Pierre.
It's time to stop making excuses. The peace of mind you get after a colonoscopy is worth it. It's the best way to prevent and detect one of the deadliest cancers. In fact, your doctor can remove precancerous polyps during the procedure if necessary. That's right, before it even turns to cancer. No buts about it. Get a colonoscopy at 45 and follow up every 10 years or as recommended by your doctor. Find a location or schedule now at avera.org/colon.
First Dakota has been named South Dakota's best in-state bank by Forbes. And while we appreciate the recognition, we don't really plan to celebrate. We'll just keep doing what we do best. Serve customers buying or refinancing homes. Support farmers in their long-term plans. Finance the growth of area businesses, and help our South Dakota communities thrive. If you want to experience best in-state service, call or visit with a First Dakota banker today. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
The team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable and to have the healthiest, best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all your family's dental needs. Call Family Dental at 224 844-7774 today.
Welcome back to Riggs Field, and welcome to our Family Dental post-game. Just heard from Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. William Wilson in studio. It's Brian Menning on camera. We thank them for their efforts here today, along with Chris Hall. I'm Brian Oakland. Another good game to watch for the Governors and for softball fans here today, but just the bottom line is, Chris Hall, it's good pitching and great defense for Brandon Valley. Yeah. The Governor offense did almost everything they could to get balls in play. They just can't get them by the infield. And to me, Brandon Valley's ability to not only hit for a big inning in that fifth inning, but also, and I think even more importantly, they just don't make any mistakes in the field. And the one time they had a bit of a misplay, they got a good bounce and bounce from the third baseman to the shortstop, and they're still able to make it out. And it's just one of those days for the Governors, but still, I cannot get over this feeling, and I'm going to stick to it until the season's over. You said teams aren't really going to want to play this Governor team later on in the season, which is kind of coming down to crunch time because of games like this. It's just going to take a couple more good hops, a couple more well-placed hits. I think the Govs get the pitching and the defense for the most part that they want, but Brandon Valley just still a little bit better on this one.
Right, we just got to put together the sticks, and to say it's Adam balls is not giving the Brandon Valley defense or pitching any credit or enough credit because, like you said, really quality stuff. I am impressed with the good pitching that we've been seeing, but there hasn't been a lot of easy outs, a lot of strikeouts. I think you said she had 5 early, but then they just started putting the ball in play. But we just got to start, keep doing what you're doing. They're hitting the ball hard, but you got to score more than 1 to win. You just do. And the days where, we find 13, 14 against Brookings, they're also putting up 14, 15, but we are not giving it to them, right? We're playing solid defense, not letting those things compile, error, mental error. You're seeing solid defense from the girls and good pitching, but it's just now we got to put it all together. And if you do it at the right time, you advance in a state tournament, right?
This is a classic example of Brandon Valley, the way they play today. I mean, they get a bit of a lead, and they play that great defense. And then a pitcher like Abby Creech, who has the fire that she throws, she'll mix it up a bit. And I think it's all about location. Yeah, the Governor's got hard-hit balls against her, but when she's got that defense behind her and they seem to be in the right position each and every time, and they're making all the plays, I mean, just go out and throw if you're a Brandon Valley pitcher.
And you know that your offense is going to put good at-bats behind you, and that's all you can ask as a pitcher, right? So even though we answered as 1-1, you didn't see any panic, you didn't see any press. That third time through the lineup, those girls made great adjustments from Noel. They're moving up in the box. They're looking to hit the ball on a line, maybe deep on a curveball or sitting on that fastball. Maybe quit sitting on the fastball and sitting on a curveball, right? And putting together really, really good at-bats. And it was day and night from the second time through the lineup, first and second time through the lineup to the third time. And that's, as a pitcher, when you throw that hard and you're hitting your spots, it's nice to know you've got girls behind you that are going to put up 6-7 runs in an inning and just hit, right? So it's a good place to be.
So 9-1, the final will give you the line score. In fact, Brandon Valley scores a run in the third. Pierre got their run in the third, and it was 1-1. 2 for the Lynx in the fourth, and then 6 in the fifth, and that is your 9-1 final. As Kenzie Flottmeyer did come in and did a good job through the sixth and the seventh innings in particular, even though she was still tagged for. I take that back. No, she didn't give up a single. Well, no, she didn't give up a run at all. I had my stats off a little bit, and so I'll have to change things up a little bit here. But a 9-1 final, 14 hits for the Lynx unofficially, 4 hits for the Governors. I did have Pierre at 3 errors, but one of them let a runner on, but it was a tough call to give an error anyway, and the other 2 were essentially inconsequential in that 6th-run 5th inning. So we'll take a look at how it all happened as Noel Kist did issue a leadoff walk to Alexa Harms in the first, but went 3 up, 3 down after that. And then in the second inning, Brandon Valley got a double and a single with runners on first and third, but the door was shut from there. Brandon Valley gets Harms to lead off with a single in the third, stole second base, advanced to third on a ground out to third base, and then scored on a Danielle Scobie ground out to short. And that is how the Lynx got a run there. The Governors counter after a ground out to third by Gretchen Youngworth. Charlie Hall with a solid single to right field. After Kist struck out, Olivia Hymans came up and boomed a double down the right field line. Actually, it turned into a triple. That scored Hall from first, and the Governors were able to counter, and then Mackenzie Flottmeyer came up and banged a hot shot, line drive out to center field, but Harms just had to range a couple of steps to her right to put it away, and boy, Flottmeyer hit it so hard that maybe 5 feet to either side of Harms, and she wouldn't have been able to make that play. The Govs could have scored another one, but they were held to just the one run. So 1 run after 1-1 it is after 3, and Kennedy Fitz led off the 4th inning for Brandon Valley with a double. Aniston Murray was hit by a pitch. Macy Lemke gets a single to load the bases, and after Sierra Fike fouls out wide of third, Briley Labor hits an RBI single out of the 9-hole, and then a sac fly for Alexa Harms out to right field. That scored the 2 runs. The single from Labor, the sac fly by Harms to score Fitz and Murray, respectively. That's 2 runs in for Brandon Valley, who led 3-1. And after the Governors went scoreless in the 4th, they just had a 2-out walk from Ellie Browers. Brandon Valley really went to work in the 5th. Scobie leads off with a triple. Gabrielle Creech hits a hot shot wide of to the left side of Charlie Hall. She got a glove on it. Probably could have or should have made at least one play, if not a force out or a throw out to first base. But that scores Scobie from third. Then Fitz with another double to drive in 1 run. Aniston Murray with an RBI single. Macy Lemke singles. And then there was... just advanced runners there. Sierra Fike with a double to the right side. Kist made the play out there, and then the relay throw goes wide of the of home plate as the Governors were trying to catch a runner down, gunner runner down at home, but Macy Lemke was able to score another run. Fike is on at third base from there, and after a ground out to Labor, well, there was still a couple more hits, and from Harms and Omdahl before Danielle Scobie struck out, and I tell you what, it just all ballooned a little bit. 6 runs in that 5th inning for the Lynx, but after that, it was Flottmeyer who did a nice job, retired the side in finished the 5th, and then did face 1 extra batter, gave up a 2-out hit in the 6th, a 1-out walk in the 7th, but still did a nice job in changing things up after the Lynx had figured out Noelle Kist in that 3rd trip through the order. Meanwhile, for the Governors, after they scored their run in the 3rd, just a 2-out walk in the 4th. They go in order in the 5th. They go 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. They did have a bit of a threat in the 7th inning, a 1-out walk to Browers, and Allie Keys advanced with a solid single to center field. But Gretchen Youngworth strikes out, and Charlie Hull out on a comebacker to retire the side and finish this one off. So again, fine defense by Brandon Valley in addition to the solid stick in there for the Lynx in a 9-1 win. Unofficial pitching stats, Noelle Kist will give up 9 runs. I might have said 6 runs earlier, but I was thinking just the 6 in that 1 inning. 8 runs unofficially earned. Kist walked a batter, hit a batter, didn't strike anybody out. Flottmeyer goes 3 innings, gives up 4 hits, but no runs allowed on her docket. Walked a batter, hit a batter, but struck out 2 in this one. Creech, meanwhile, for the Lynx, goes all 7 innings, giving up 4 runs, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and strikes out 6 to get the win in this one. The Lynx improved to 10-3 on the season. They're the 5th power-rated team coming in. The Governors, I'm sure, will stay at 15 power ranking, but they'll fall to 3-14 on the season with the loss. Let's take another 3-minute break. We'll do some more business, and we'll come back and talk about big plays in this game. We got your player of the game coming up as well. So after this 3-minute timeout, you're listening to Pierre Governors Softball, the postgame, the Family Dental postgame on River 92.7.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Scott, go back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art three-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Back at Riggs, we continue our family dental post game. Brian Oakland along with Chris Held to talk about big plays of the game, sponsored by Hermanson Endodontics and Pierre, from whom we just heard. And Seahall in this one, I think, big plays from a Pierre standpoint. You just look at all the good things that happened, hard-hitting balls. Right. Olivia Hyman's with the big triple to drive in the only run, but even defensively in actual plays that were made. And the 2 balls that Aaliyah Erickson was able to make and able to catch to end a couple of innings, especially the one in the right center field gap when you're down 9-1. Yep. I mean, that's there's no quit in plays like that, and you love to see that. And then she makes a nice play running in on a shallow hit ball to shallow center the following inning. So you still love the way the Govs are playing, even though things aren't going their way.
Yeah, and even you bring up Aaliyah, she's scuffling a little bit at the plate, really bothering her, but found a way. No, she isn't hitting today, but found a way to make a big impact on the game, right? 2 big plays. And I'm telling you, there's nobody else that makes those plays, especially the one where she's running to her right or to her left, away from her. The ball's tailing away. The wind's pushing it that way. Sure. Go gadget arm. She makes the play, So it's good for her to stay, she's staying engaged, even though she's scuffling a little bit at the plate. Difference. I would say we said it to begin with. If we can start out and the girls are engaged, playing clean softball, this is a team that when they put it together on any given day, that nobody's really going to want to play. We've won 3 games, but we're playing with everybody. We just got to find a way to put some more runs across.
Yeah, but big plays for the winning side of things for Brandon Valley. I mean, big plays. You know, there was nothing flashy today for Brandon Valley. They just made every play, and just a great fundamentally defensive team, and a lot of hard hit balls, but they're just well positioned. They didn't. You know, they didn't double much of anything, if anything at all. Had that one play that turned into a ricochet. But, yeah, it's just, I mean, and this is something that I've been thinking about all day long, and I guess we'll just bring up the point here. There are so many good softball teams in this state. I mean, Pierre's a decent team, but especially those metro teams. You look at what Rapid City did, Stevens did here the last time the Govs had a home game. I mean, these teams that just don't make mistakes, and you can't help but be impressed.
And I think the biggest thing that impressed me is the adjustments. We saw Noelle go out and just stick that ball down the throats, you know, when she had her 100 strikeouts. I mean, and they couldn't make that adjustment. She pitched 7 innings, strong softball. She was pitching well today. She was hitting her spots. It's just that their big play of the game is that third time through the lineup, their coaches and those girls were saying, we're going to sit on that curveball and we're going to hit it hard somewhere, right? Where that's not an easy adjustment to make all the time, Oak.
Yeah, I mean, the level of play in this state is as good as anywhere around us as well. So big plays of the game, and a job well done by Brandon Valley making the big plays of the game. They're brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. One last order of business to take care of is the naming of today's player of the game. That's sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. That announcement is next. This is Governor Softball.
Download the app and save at Cowboy Country Stores. Cowboy Country Stores' new app is as simple as putting in your phone number and save big. Take advantage of daily promotions and clubs, like every Monday coffee, just 99 cents. Every Saturday and Sunday, $2 off any large pizza. Fridays, it's 2 breakfast sandwiches for $6. Other great daily specials. The new app available now at Cowboy Country Stores. Download today.
Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. We're talking big players of the game, and of course we keep them local. In Governor Softball doing just home games, with Brandon Valley certainly has some candidates in this one offensively. Macy Lemke had a good 3-for-4 day, scoring a run along the way. I didn't actually do box scores, which I usually do. I guess I
we're sitting here basking in the sun. That's
out of practice, but. Some hard hitting from Danielle Scobie with a triple in this one. Kennedy Fitz had a couple of ringing doubles and drove in a run. Alexa Harms setting a lot of things up. 2 for 3 day, but was on base 4 times in the top of the lineup, and actually 3 times. Delivered a run on a sac fly. A lot of good things offensively. Gabby Creech with a complete game win, giving up just 4 hits and striking out 6 in this one. All all worthy of honorable mention for our player of the game from Cowboy Country Stores. For the Governors, Flottmeyer comes in, does a nice job pitching after in relief of Noelle Kist. And again, the Governors with only 4 hits in this one, but I think today, Chris Hall, we go with the one who had the loudest hit of the day and also played a pretty good second base. Just a 1-for-3 day for Olivia Hymans, but not the first player you think of in contributions and on a day-to-day basis for the Governors, but she came through today, and when the Governors needed to respond after Brandon Valley struck first in the 3rd inning, it was Hymans who came up and delivered the biggest hit of the day.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, it's good to see her come through because she scuffled a little bit in Sioux Falls. Swing was getting a little wonky, and it's hard to make those adjustments in season, quick games. But today I was seeing good short swings, good flat swings, not, dropping that shoulder or pulling that front shoulder. And great at bat. I think she had a great approach, both, all of her at bats, but certainly played stellar second base defense and much deserving.
Her first at bat was a 3-up, 3-down swing and miss all 3 times. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, or whatever. But and I don't think she was really very close on any of those pitches. She was just swinging hard and hoping to make contact. But she did everything right on that second one. Got that long fly to the right field corner. Drove in Charlie Hall from first base. Unfortunately, just the first and only run of the day For the Pierre Governors, however, Olivia Hymans is today's player of the game. We'll get her a T-shirt noting her accomplishments for being our Cowboy Country Store's player of the game. Well, the upcoming schedule has both of these teams in action on Thursday. The Governors are going to Sioux Falls. They're going to play the O'Gorman Knights, and that'll be at Sherman Park with a 6 o'clock first pitch. And our next broadcast is a week from today when the Govs host the T-Area Titans. And again, that'll be 4 o'clock first pitch. We'll be on the air at 3:30 next Tuesday. After that, Pierre has a season finale in the regular season at Harrisburg a week from Thursday. So just 3 more games for the Governors on their docket. As for the Lynx, they will host Aberdeen Central on Thursday night in Brandon, and then they've got Watertown on May 19th, which is, I'm trying to determine, that's Monday actually, Watertown, and then they'll go out to Stevens and Spearfish and Sturgis next weekend for 3 games in 2 days on Friday and Saturday. That's the rest of the Brandon Valley schedule, and then the Sodak 16 is scheduled for that week following Memorial Day. Keep in mind it is the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. It's the state track meet in Sioux Falls, and then softball continues after that. Track season comes to an end, by the way. Listen for track updates on DRG Media Group's KPLO-FM. Shameless plug. So that's, again, what the Govs have coming up. One more game at home for the Governors is a week from today against the T-Area Titans. Chris Hall and I will have that one at 3:30 on your official voice of the Govs River 92.7. So, once again, it's O'Gorman, and that's a team that's on Thursday next up for the Govs. But O'Gorman is 4-7, so I think they've had a lot of similarities in their schedule. They're just not making the plays, maybe not getting the hits. But man, that is still another good test for Pierre on Thursday.
Right, and both those teams coming up. Again, very familiar with them. Girls play against them in the summer. We play the fall ball league against a lot of those same girls, same teams even, really. So it'll be interesting, and I think it's a couple of games that the girls are certainly looking forward to.
Yeah, so Gorman, T, and, of course, Harrisburg. And, you talked about the efforts against Harrisburg last year in the fall, and that's a team that I'm sure I think the Govs, even though 3-14, they're looking forward to every contest and every challenge.
For sure. It's the sticks show up, right? Yeah. And playing that clean defense that we're now sort of getting used to seeing. We had one game against Watertown where it kind of wasn't there. Hot day, third game of the day, but you're starting to see just a solid ball club that when they put it together, especially when the sticks wake up, I think you could ask Brookings how we jumped them coming out, and it was all they could handle. So these girls certainly aren't scared of anybody anymore.
All right, looking forward to the next one. That's Thursday at O'Gorman, but again, here on River 92.7 next Tuesday, our next coverage of Governor softball when they host the T-Area Titans. Want to wish safe travels to Brandon Valley fans who will be heading back, and for the rest of the spring into the summer, for everybody traveling for graduation. And by the way, we wish the best to all the graduates, of course, the Governor softball seniors that they have, plus the entire graduating class of 2025. Congratulations to each and every one of you. This coming Sunday is graduation at Riggs High. That'll be at 2 o'clock. Again, wishing everybody all the best. For all of those on the road, by the way, it is text or drive. There is no and. Slow down and buckle up and get to where you need to be. That reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. I want to thank William Wilson for running the show in studio, River 92.7 Studios, and for Brian Menning, who has done camera work for Live Ticket. You can rewatch this game at drgnews.com on the River 92.7 page once we sign off. For Chris Hall, that side, I'm Brian Oakland, your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard. It's Brandon Valley 9, the Governors 1. Till we meet with you again next Tuesday at 3:30 when the Govs host the T-Area Titans. We thank you for joining us. This has been a presentation of the official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Good evening, everybody.
You've been listening to